wife and I went down the coast and we just read through. And it's amazing too, where you're beating yourself up all the time and then you realise that you've actually done 80% of the work already. So the book was actually pretty close to being finished. And I wrote with a new criteria. And the criteria was, is this alive or is it dead? And that was like word for word, sentence for sentence, plot for plot. And if it was alive, keep it. And if it's dead, either get it to live in a real hurry or get rid of it. And, things were gotten rid of, which is hard to believe, in a book that's, fairly big. But there's a lot that got left behind, which brings me to, I have to tell this other small, tiny piece, which was about 6 months ago. I was doing all the edits for this book, and my daughter was sitting sort of diagonally opposite me. She's 12, but still, my kids, I don't know about all of you, my kids eat like barbarians. And she's sitting across the table pouring cereal out, and it's going everywhere. And I said to her, "You right over there? I'm just editing this book. I've got a lot of work to do today." And she's looked at me and she's gone, "You? What?" And I thought about that for the rest of the day. And the rest of the day, and then I thought, I wonder, so I added up, I don't usually count words, so whenever I hear a writer say, "Yeah, well, I'm up to the 80,000 word mark," I don't even know what you're talking about. And but I did count the words, which is easy to do in the word program or whatever. And then I realised it was about 128,000 words, and then I divided that by how many days there are in 13 years. It came out as 1.9 words per day. And then I thought, yeah, she's got a point. But the thing is, it's if you then look, but then you could go, all right, how much? And I'm a lot more mathematical. Like, people think when you're a writer, again, this whole creativity thing is that I'm not really that creative. Like, I'm more disciplined than creative because, just the amount of files in my, and I went through 2 computers for, in the time of writing this book, and then the amount of files, the amount of notebooks. So, I pretty much write down all my chapter headings, and that's how I structure a book in a book like this over and over again. And to give you a bit of an idea, so this one, if anything falls out of this, just ignore it. So this one here isn't so I thought they were chapter headings, and then I saw them, then I had a closer look and I realised, because I write my chapters, and within the chapters there are just sections. These are actually the list of the sections within the chapter. And so I've listed the chapters and then the passages within the chapters, and within and within and within, and it's all of these words that aren't included in the 1.9, and that's actually the foundation that gives you the 1.9 words per day in the book. So it's the words under the words, like the stories within the story. But I wouldn't explain that to her because she'd just roll her eyes at me, which comes back again to when she was about 3 or 3.5, maybe 4 years old, and I did read. She said, "Can you read?" She came into my workroom because I really like interruptions, and so don't worry if your phone goes off or anything. I like writing at home because of the chaos of it a lot of the time, because that's where your actual stories are. And I remember she came in and she was about 4. This was back in the dark old days. It was about 2010, not knowing that there was still 8 years to go. If I could go back and tell myself that now, that version of me would probably just put his head on the desk and just go, "Oh my God." But she came in and she goes, "Oh, can you read me some of that?" And so I start reading the beginning of it. And this was still when there was Maggie as the narrator, the girl across the road. And she's cut me off about halfway through the first sentence, which is quite long, and she's just gone, in the way a little kid speaks, she's just gone, "I don't really like that." And of course, I'm there. I'm supposedly a grown man. I'm going, "Well, technically you're not the audience." So really for 4-year-olds. What are you doing? So I think, even talking about these things, they seem almost meaningless or trivial or just a bit of fun, but it's those things that I think have a lot of meaning in books like these, where it is about, it's about one character's struggle to make something great, but it's also about all the people around that kind of character, and what your family has done for you, to you, and around you.